Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Cone Dodger here. Welcome back to Formula 1 2018 for one final time. This is the series finale of our F1 2018 career, and today we're going to take a quick moment to reminisce.
With the media has a
Is
bearing
Emma,
on how you're considered
is
by
Emma telling me I have an attitude? I don't know, but that's not what I want to look at all. But she's going to keep talking.
Your behavior to the team's expectations
Oh,
will give us
man.
a stronger position during contract negotiations.
Thanks, Emma. So let's look overall. Season number 1, we started with Haas, and they were the 5th ranked team in the field. And you can see the climb and progression as we pushed that team up to number 4 in a close battle with the big 3. It was a lot of fun. Kind of an up and down season. Let's see, we did win 1, 2, 3 races that season. Some DNFs, some mid-pack, but overall it was a really strong showing. Season 2 came around and I moved the difficulty up to kind of match the pace of our car, and we had a great battle, especially early in the season as our cars had a ton of parity for the first few races, and then as the season progressed, our car kind of just stayed level to our competition, but ahead of the competition. And we did have quite a spectacular close to our season number 2 with 5 wins in the last few races there, and it was a pretty dominant performance. So season 3, I decided I wanted a little bit more of a challenge, moved over to McLaren. You can see McLaren here pretty much mired in the mid-pack, but if you look at the overall spread, 300 to 500 here, at the end of this season, 600 to less than 800, so the entire field had really compressed at the end of season 2. So season 3 start with a 600-800 spread means it wasn't nearly as much of a challenge to push McLaren to the top of the pack. There was also no regulation changes as we went to season 3, so everybody was starting pretty much on the same footing, and what that meant was we didn't really have any huge detriment to start the season, so it was just a nice steady climb. By about mid-season, it started to become a really competitive team, and as soon as the regulation changes went into effect and then the rest of the team started to really work on saving their cars or saving their tech for next season, we were able to really stretch out ahead, which made for some pretty fun racing to end out our F1 2018 career. We head into the final race today as the strongest team in the field, and I want to have a nice battle with Alonso for this final race. I hope that can happen. We're headed to Abu Dhabi. We're also going to have a little bit of fun today, and we're going to see what a 920 performance rating car is like. So it's not the best you could do. It would probably take another season for like a max performance car, but I want to see where we're at right now. I kind of have a little guessing game going on as to what do you think the top speed of the car is going to be down the back straightaway of Abu Dhabi if we take some downforce off of it. So that's what I'm going to try. So here's the setup that I have on the car for the race weekend. Now this is a baseline. Haven't quite gotten there yet. Jeff, why do you always have to interrupt? Why? Some things just never change.
Good data for both the race and factory teams, so they're well worth running.
Anyway, these are the kind of numbers I've been running for a good bit of the season. Now you do see I have the ride height, front and rear, pretty darn low. I actually, what kind of accent is that? I actually have a lot of the suspension set pretty soft, and that's just been what has really worked for the car over the course of the season. I tend to run pretty low brake pressure and a lower-ish front tire pressure. This is not really anything spectacular. This is I was reading guides on like how to set up cars in these games, and most of these decisions are made purely based on that. I don't tend to run a lot of camber with this car versus I ran a lot of camber with the Haas, and that is just kind of a stability thing. It seemed to get a little weird with a lot of camber in it. So what I'm going to do right now is take the 3 and 4 wings out, and we're going to go down the back straightaway and see how fast this thing will go. It would be lovely to get into a draft to do this, but I don't think we'll have an opportunity.
I'll get these changes made.
So we're going to go to track. Let's do a flying lap. I don't usually do practice laps without a program going. Hey, there's the bug. I talked about this. Luckily, I was ready for it. But you see how it gave me... Oh, man. It gave me no countdown. Why? Hold on. I think I needed to calibrate the brakes. Okay, there we go. This is the kind of stuff you usually don't see. But yeah, it gave me no countdown and just shoved me out on track.
Remind you to keep an eye on your tyre temperatures, which you can do on the temperature panel of the MFD. We monitor carcass temperature and surface temperature, and you'll get the best performance when they're both inside a normal operating window. Surface temps tend to fluctuate faster, so try a few laps with the data open and get a feel for how to control them.
And now you know what usually happens during practice sessions, where Jeff goes on a rant or through an essay right in the middle of one of my laps. It's great. All right, now I can't run this thing on qualifying fuel mix. That is one downside. So we're gonna be a little bit down on top speed with that. But we do have it on engine mode 5 and rich mix. And DRS will be open here. Let's see. 350, 351. This is really not the longest straightaway to be doing that. I was kind of expecting a little bit more. So I think we would need more straightaway. Probably Baku, something like that, to really show what it would do. Unfortunately, there's no way to take this car in its current state to a different track. So, I don't know what to do to show you guys what its non-draft VMAX would be. The 350 is a little bit short of what the fastest Formula 1 cars' speeds have shown to be. Obviously, we'd want to be at Baku. Well, you know what? Let's just try and make a little bit more straightaway then. They really want to rebuild one of these cars anyway, don't they?
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Okay, it made it to like, what, 345? Somewhere around there.
Okay.
So that's not as fast as I was expecting, to be honest. We've seen higher top speeds, but that was only in a draft, so... I don't know if we really found anything out there, but I guess we know something? I don't know, it was just fun. Alright, here we go, Abu Dhabi. It appears that Alonso is issuing a challenge here at this track. One thing that usually does happen here is the AI tend to be really fast in qualifying, but then back down in the race. A 32.999 is insanely quick around here, though. I would be extremely hard-pressed to hit that time. I'm pretty good in sectors 1 and 2, really kind of slacking in sector 3. Normally that's my issue here. I struggle with the slow sector 3, have a lot of understeer. I've never really been able to dial that out of any of the cars I've ever driven around this track. But we're gonna give it a good try here. This is Q2. I was kind of thinking we might skip Q2 today, but competition's really stout today, so I want to make sure we're not missing anything. I also want to make sure that the recording is working, because I've been having so many issues with the recordings all of a sudden. No idea why. Really, no reason for it. I don't have too much leftover brain power to jibber jabber though, because this is a pretty challenging track to get around. It's not challenging in the way that like a Monaco or a Baku is challenging. It's challenging in a way similar to like Bahrain and somewhat China are challenging. Every turn so importantly leads into the next turn that one mistake, one bobble is hugely costly, because it usually ends up costing you a lot of straightaway speed somewhere down the line. And that's just so much time lost. This has been a really well executed lap so far. Ooh, a little bit of over-rotation into there isn't the worst thing, actually. There as well, using the high RPM to really rotate the car. It basically acts like engine braking. Which Jack's like a little bit of rear brake bias. This is where I struggle. You can see I'm just not comfortable with the front end. There either. And lift a little bit there. A 3.666 is certainly no 2.999. I don't know if ever I will see a time of that nature. Never did I imagine a 3.666 would be barely enough to get into Q3, but it was getting close. A 32.8 from Alonso. Still nobody else in the twos. I don't think I'm gonna get there. I did save both sets of tires for Q3 though, so at least I have that on my side. I'm watching what's going on over there on the old capture computer, and we're sitting at like 75% GPU load, just recording. So that may be where some of those issues were coming from, but hopefully I've made enough changes today to make that not happen. Enough stalling. Let's go make a lap attempt. I don't think this will be our only lap attempt. Unless I magically get on the twos on a first try. I don't foresee that happening. Give me a long lead up today, or this run. Alright. Don't overdrive it through here. We are on the hyper soft tire. The last time we're ever gonna have to talk, hopefully, about hypers and supers and ultras and angel softs. This next season we go finally to soft to medium hard. I was trying it out to see if it would work, clipping more of the inside curve for turn 1. Didn't quite work out for me like I hoped. This is honestly more of a installation lap more than anything. And this is what they do in real F1 as well. They go and put in a lap time, go in, put new tires on it, cool the thing down, fuel it right, and then they go in and put their actual lap time in. What was that, like 351? We've seen higher speeds than that this season. I'm pretty sure we saw higher speeds than that at Baku. And I'm so bad at Baku, I probably run around a lot of downforce there. That was a lot of words to try and spit out. A little bit of that over rotation again, but it is really working fine. I say over rotation only in that the car is pitching, but in reality it's a benefit more than a drawback. If I could get some of that through here, it would be golden. That was actually the best run through there I've ever had. Well, I kind of hate that we messed up turn 1. 32? No, it's actually a 36.746. A lot of work left to do. Whew. A steep challenge for us for our last race. 33.4 for Alonso, also not putting in a real time yet. Oh, sorry! Fresh tires. Let's also drain the fuel all the way down. 2.6, now we'll need at least 3 to get back around, okay. And let's do this. I'm not going to wait till the last second. Let's go do a flying lap. So I'll have a delta to go against. I gotta try not to overdrive. That's, oh hey, we're driving now. We are driving. It's one of the things I commonly end up doing, is my second run is worse because I overdrive the car. Only 3 minutes to go in the session, so we're not going to be crazy early. We just gotta hope that nobody comes out on track in front of us. Here we go. Well, I thought the more conservative line through turn 1 would be better, but pretty much the same. Oh no! Car hit the curb and got a little bit airborne. That is not good for us. I did manage to get back to the green for a second there, so it isn't over. But we'd have to find a lot of time in Sector 2, and that's not where I was expecting to find it. Nah, under-rotated there. It was awful. Pretty much gonna mirror the lap, I think. Screw you, Pylon. Gosh, that felt so good, and it was slower. A little bit of time there. I just tried to floor it through the last turn. It didn't really gain us anything. That's about all I'm going to get out of it. I won't have enough fuel to do a second lap, and the tires are not going to have enough in them. Well, we might have a little bit of an uphill battle today. Oh, that little curb out there has caught me out so many times. Ah, we exceeded limits there anyway. Ah, well. Alright, well, we'll see where that gets us.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. What a qualifying from Fernando Alonso. He starts from pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Lewis Hamilton, and Ocon. Red, Hülkenberg, Perez, and Charles Leclerc. Grosjean, Magnussen, Carlos Sainz and Ericsson, Sirotkin, Gasly, Brendan Hartley and Lance Stroll, Bottas and Max Verstappen completes the grid.
It's been a long season, but let's try to end it on a high note.
I love how depressed those always sound. Oh man, like it's been a bad season. P2 and P2 in the manufacturer, right? I think? Maybe. Either way, it's been a phenomenal season. I've had a lot of fun, and we're not starting exactly where we wanted to start today, but I think it'll be a fun battle. Usually, I end up racing here better than I qualify, so let's hope that that's the case again today. Thank you to everybody for supporting this F1 2018 campaign through all the highs and lows, mostly related to game problems and recording problems. I appreciate it. Let's go race. Alrighty, let's try to have ourselves another good launch here. Ooh, treat it really well. Do they use that term in Formula 1? Probably not. Ooh, I had my tires on the curb and it locked up the fronts. Ocon's gonna get back around there. I had to check on the brakes because he had to check on the brakes. Let's try and get back into the pack, because this is where the passing opportunities start. Well, I'm working for this one. I think he's probably got a little bit of Hamilton's draft. It's just a drag race. We really are drag racing. We're treeing people. And that was a little bit more than a quarter of a mile. He's got me though, he had the preferred line. But now I've got a real tight draft to him. Let's go to the outside. Try and get that preferred line in the next right-hander. I think we just went side by side for most of that though. He was not willing to give that up. I gotta try and get away now.
That's a strong start. Well done.
Front five is off. We're gonna need them to really race each other if we're gonna get back into that. Boy, with more fuel on board, I am very displeased with the car's handling. Lots of understeer there. Hopefully it comes around to us over the course of this one. Stay away from that curb over there. I feel like our car still has more legs than the ones right in front of us, but if they're in a draft and I'm not, it isn't gonna help us. Feels like Alonso's gotten out to a really good lead. So that battle's not really raging on like we need it to. Feels like the car is starting to come in a little bit for me. I think I was so focused on, whoops, bye pylon. I was so focused on practicing my qualifying runs here that I maybe didn't put enough focus into what the car drove like with fuel on board. So I'm trying to push lines that the qualifying car can do, but in race, not so much. Bit of a shame that I put so much effort into
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the ultra softs.
into qualifying runs and then qualified so poorly. This is a very common thing though. The AI at this track are just a little bit OP. That was close to that curb. Where they might be a little UP and Mexico, or not Mexico, Interlagos, Brazil. No UP. Use a little fuel. Try and get straightaway speed up. Make up the gap.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
How about that? Alright, let's do it. I'm about it. I'm about it. I hope they haven't added anything like mandatory voice activation for the next game, or I'm going to be in trouble. It's like, currently can't get that. I think what I would have to do is get another microphone and have a microphone on my gaming computer that is solely for the voice activation stuff. That was too deep. I was starting to close in, and it was making my brain think I needed to push harder. That's not really the case. I do feel like the car is starting to come around for me, though. I feel like it's getting better.
Push hard on the in-lap.
Which is good, because we're heading towards the in-lap. It's when we need to be closing that gap down. Doesn't look like this is a winnable race from here. But a 1-2 would be a great way to round out the season. We're not quite to DRS range yet, but maybe with a little undercut we could get there. Actually using different gear selections in the race, trying to get the car to rotate correctly.
Box now, please. Box this lap.
It freaks me out when he says now, when I'm nowhere near pit road. You know what didn't happen this season? We didn't have the massive penalties. We had a couple cars, but in previous seasons, the last race of the year, there's been a swath of cars to have to take part in the last race. Not so this season. Yeah, this car is really starting to come into its own now, I feel. Tricky pit entry, that is. Alright, now, the concern we have is coming out in traffic. There's a glob of blue cars at the back of the pack. There's your top tip, everybody. If you're picking a team, never pick the blue cars. Apparently the game hates them.
Go, go, go.
With the way this pit road is,
Okay,
I should have a pretty decent gap.
We'll receive a penalty. Take
Yeah, that's more than enough. Yep. So that'll give us a good lap here of max speed. Takes a few turns for the tires to come in. Use a bit of fuel right here. Just trying to get everything we can out of it. See if we can undercut a few. Don't overdrive it though. The mistake I make right now would be probably the most costly mistake I could make. Nice. You know, this is actually good. I'm glad that our last race of the series is not just a walk all over 'em domination of the race. Because that would really poorly represent what we've done here. I think, honestly, especially this season, but also the Haas seasons, I have thoroughly enjoyed what we've done here. Hang up there as cars are going through pits. That is a Ferrari right in front of me. Oh, hop the curbs. Nothing else, we're at least within DRS range of Kimi here. The other cars went another lap, so we might even get those positions.
Right, the car behind has come in to put on the ultra soft tyre. That's the car behind, now on the ultra soft.
Top speed! Oh, he really tried to pinch me to the inside, so I did the same to him. I won't have it. Just had to pretend he wasn't there and stick to my line.
Fernando's in the pits.
Alright, let's see how this works out. I'm a bit worried that our race with Kimi has perhaps done some damage to the undercut opportunity we had. That's a bit spicy. Some cars have not pit yet, so we won't know for sure where we stand. Oh man, did I just lose the nose pad there. I was kind of preoccupied looking where Vettel was. Looks like Alonso actually built a lead in that sequence. So this is his race to lose. But this may be the race for second right here. Steeply better run here. Should be able to clear, yes. Do I get DRS here? This would be critical. No, I'm surprised. I thought for sure I had it there. Looks like we're all right for now. This traffic's not gonna be in my favor though. This is not really a passing part of the track. Get out of the way! Gasly with an issue. There goes Hartley. And that should be everybody. Should have grabbed fourth there. At least it didn't push wide this time. fleeting glimpse of Alonso, and then a nice slide for me. Quite a pack behind us. Not going to be an easy feat holding second place. He hopped the curb. Now I'm going to have to.
Caution, caution.
Don't tell me that's Alonso. Nope. Oh wait, I can't pass here. I think that's one of the first times I've ever actually had to make that consideration. Well, that was a bit unfortunate. Thanks, Gasly. Not that it was at all your fault. Let's do some harvesting. Man, they are quick here. It's pretty wild. Seems to be a grip issue. I just don't have the grip mid-turn. This car is really good on the brakes at this juncture, but I just don't seem to have, as I lock them up, I just don't seem to have the mid-turn grip right now. We're still on DRS. But not to pass, so we just chill behind him. Don't I sound chill? Not really. Last thing I want to see happen, though, is him stretch out ahead of DRS range. That would be a disaster. That was a nice run. Good job, me. Thanks, me. Someone's got to compliment my driving. Jeff ain't never gonna do it. YouTube ain't never gonna do it.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Four laps to go? Okay. I was kind of curious where we stood. I didn't really been paying attention. It'd be really great for us if we could stretch out a gap to the cars behind, but I don't think it's going to happen. Do I really want to pass him here? I might just have to. He left me a little bit of the outside there, but not quite enough. Now he gets DRS back. Just gonna let him glide on by. And if we play that right, what we can do is try to build a gap behind us by not interfering with each other. Hasn't worked so far, but it's a nice thought. Really focusing in, especially in that section of the track. Turn 1 as well has never been one of my strong points. So he just inches away through here, but we claw it back through this slow chicane.
switch to overtake and have a go.
I don't know if we really need to have a go just yet, Jeff. We really didn't have a crazy amount of speed at the end of the straightaway there. This is probably a better run, but not the turn I really want to be doing that. What I'm trying to prevent is Vettel blocking, because if he blocks...
Our tyre data is looking positive so far. We think there's plenty of life left in these for the moment.
If he blocks, then he ruins his line and slows us both down. In a weird dynamic, me helping Vettel is the best chance I have at a second place.
Laps of fuel remaining.
That's one of the weird things you gotta pay attention to, especially in Formula One. So I actually got spoiled a little bit as to some of the stuff that's happening in F1 2019. I've been trying to stay mostly blind to it, but an excited fan will say accidentally spoiled me to some things that are happening next season, or next game, I mean. I'm very excited about it. A lot of good changes, I think. I read a lot of negativity about these games, and I'm not going to say it doesn't deserve it, because we certainly have our frustrations here. Mostly to do with the way the game works, and a little bit the AI coding, but at the end of the day, I truly do enjoy the format of these games. They fill the niche that I desire to be filled, which is
Okay, battery's looking good. You can use overtake to get past.
which is a semi-realistic, very in-depth Formula One game. And I think they've really nailed that. That's... Ooh, easy car. That's really what they've done here. It doesn't give me the same driving depth of iRacing or Assetto, no. But I don't think it's really attempting to, and I don't think it really needs to. What it simulates is the depth of Formula One. It simulates the entirety of Formula One rather than just trying to simulate the driving. Will we ever have both? I don't know. Probably not. That's probably not a product that enough people are wanting. I think the same people that want the Formula One games to be ultra realistic, probably the same ones that want them to be, VR capable and a lot more difficult. And I don't... Whoop! This is getting physical. That was close. Crossover. I don't disagree with them. I don't think they're wrong. I just think it's a different market. You gotta see both sides of the fence here. The premier Formula One title has to be a game that a large audience wants to buy. So they got a really tough balance to straddle there. And I think they're doing a fine job of that. If they can get some of the compatibility stuff and the workings of the game down, and keep refining that AI, I think we're in a fine place with it. I won't spoil you as to what it is about 2019 I'm excited about, but it's mostly to do with the career, and that's certainly where I've found my enjoyment. Alright, this is gonna get interesting. I imagine he's gonna draft by us here. Shut up, Jeff. That's gonna be tough if he doesn't, actually. I'm on full power mode right now. He may not have that available. He might have been running that thing lean or rich the whole race to keep ahead of me. That was a little dirty. He's not terribly close. Keeping him out of my draft is helping. Watch it down here. It's been getting a little oversteery on me. Yeah, it is. Pin it. Finish the season with a 1-2. Yeah! Boy, I didn't know that was going to work. Passing him the lap before, but it worked out.
Very strong season this year, very strong indeed. Well done, and thank you on behalf of the team for a fantastic effort.
You're welcome. I just wanted to make you happy.
Another fantastic victory for McLaren today. And Anthony Davidson.
I swear, if they didn't record new voice lines here, I'm gonna be very upset. Very
Our
upset.
drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren.
Hey, this is the
picking
last
up
time we'll see
winner's
this.
trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
That's kind of fitting. A bit, I suppose. Alright.
Well, the lead at the top has come down after a poor result for our points.
Oh!
Now then, Anthony Davidson,
Wow.
who's your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Red. They did a great job at getting the most
Thank you,
out of their
thank you.
tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
The Constructors' title may already be decided, but another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Sauber, whose good result moves them further up the championship. That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
Boy, we got close, didn't we? If the car had come to life a little bit earlier in the season, this could have been quite interesting. It didn't come alive soon enough for Alonso. He's still in P7. Wait, isn't that the joke, or is that 5th? I think that's 5th. Anyway, P2 for McLaren in the championship. Solidly got that. Really a disappointing end of the season for Haas. They did not capitalize on their very good car at all. And I just really couldn't be much happier. This is what I was hoping for. Interesting that Vettel had a penalty there at the end, so we would have had second either way, I suppose. Maybe that's why he wasn't really taking the fight. I don't know. We'll watch the beginning of the race, and I'll say it again. Thank you, everybody that has stayed tuned through this series. But don't worry. The new series begins very soon. Should begin next weekend, in fact. All goes well. Had a lot of fun with it. Had no shortage of frustration, but I really can't say it enough. Thank you, everybody that has supported me doing this series. It makes me excited every week to record this, partially because I enjoy the game, but mostly because of the just consistent support for it. Every week, in and out, throughout now like 5 seasons, I believe, of doing F1 career, I consistently know people are going to be there to watch the races, support the series, and that's cool. I've never, ever had a series like that before, and it's really enjoyable. It makes putting in the effort, you know, building new computers, changing to capture card recording, and just, you know, dealing with the quirks of the game, it makes all of that worth it. So thanks. One last interview.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy.
I'm gonna give all snarky answers if there is ones.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race.
Oh, well, there's no real snarky answers on that one. Sure. Any snarky ones on this one?
Thrilled to be up on the podium.
I was expecting it. I just like giving those answers because it's so not me.
You had a close battle today, didn't you?
He's been a thorn in my side, that Alonso.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Great. I hope you got some new voice lines as well. and maybe more than 6 questions. The things we can hope for. We end the season, I think, leading the rivalry? Just barely. No, we actually are losing! How about that? That really was developing as we went. All this stuff, yeah, we don't really care. Hey!
Nice job this season.
Thanks!
You've been performing well, and that's putting us in a strong negotiating position contract-wise. Plus, my 10%'s getting more valuable. So enjoy your break, and keep up the good work next year.
Thanks! But,
Just wanted to say congrats on the podium.
You're getting deleted.
Thoroughly deserved.
Sorry.
We were sweating those last few laps on the pit wall, but you brought it home.
Alright, goodbye everybody. See you next game.